Jai Sipadikar Shri Guru Gaur Chandra Ju Ki Jai. Jai Shri Guru Raj Govardhan Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Pari Brajakacharya Astatar Siddha Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Pari Brajakacharya Astatar Siddha Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai, welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission Morning Class, Dandavat. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Chaitanya Padakamalam Shri Kurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Vitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrta Ki Jai. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Ki Jai. Jai Shri Om Vishnupad Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. I don't think this microphone is working. I don't think so. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's definitely working now. Hari Bol. Continuing to read Chaitanya Charitamrta, the 4th chapter. Wow, that's loud. Is it supposed to be that loud? Okay, is it better? Adi Lila, 4th chapter, the confidential reasons for the Lord's text number 66. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Sri Chaitanya. All right, so I'm going to go back a few verses to number 63. O Lord, you are the support of everything. The 3 attributes, Ladini, Sandini, and Samvit, exist in you as one spiritual energy. And what is the name of this energy? From before that we heard? The Ladini, Sandini, and Samvit? Very good. Vishuddha. But the material modes which cause happiness, misery, and the mixtures of the two do not exist in you, for you have no material qualities. They're in his energy, but they're they're not the internal potency. There's the 3 potencies, but the external potency is not the Lord himself, but an extension of the Lord, of course, everything being absolute. And then the essential portion of the Sandini potency is Shuddha Sattva. The Lord's existence rests upon it. The essential portion of the Sandini potency is Shuddha Sattva. The Lord Krishna's existence rests upon it. This is the basis of the absolute plane, of the divine plane. Krishna's mother, father, abode, house, bedding, seats, and so on are all transformations of Shuddha Sattva. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Sadvitam Yadiyate Tatra Puman Apavita Sattve Chatasmin Bhagavan Vasudevo Yadokshajo Me Manasa Vidiyate. The condition of pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva, in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead is revealed without any covering over those who are seeing, is called Vasudeva. In that pure state, The Supreme Godhead who is beyond the material senses and who is known as Vasudeva is perceived by my mind. Again, that was spoken by Lord Shiva. I'll read this purport again. The text from Srimad Bhagavatam, the 4th canto, spoken by Lord Shiva when he condemned Daksha, the father of Sati, as an opponent of Vishnu, confirms beyond a doubt that Lord Krishna, his name, his fame, his qualities, and everything in connection with his paraphernalia exists in the Sandhini Shakti of the Lord's internal potency. So Sandhini is the basis, the all-pervading basis. Krishna Bhagavata Jnana Sanghite Rasara Brahma Jnana Dika Shabatara Parivara. The essence of the Samvit potency is knowledge that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna. All other kinds of knowledge, such as knowledge of Brahman, are its components. Purport. The activities of the Samvit Shakti produce the effect of cognition. Both the Lord and the living entities are cognizant. Sri Krishna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has full knowledge of everything, everywhere, and therefore there are no hindrances to his cognition. He can have knowledge merely by glancing over an object, whereas innumerable impediments block the cognition of ordinary living beings. The cognition of the living beings has 3 divisions: direct knowledge, indirect knowledge, and perverted knowledge. Means not at all accurate. Sense perception of material objects by the mundane senses, such as the eye, ear, nose, and hand, always produces definitely perverted knowledge. This illusion is a presentation of the material energy, which is influenced by the Samvit Shakti in a perverted manner. Negative cognition of an object beyond the reach of sense perception is the way of indirect knowledge, which is not at all altogether imperfect, but which produces only fragmentary knowledge in the form of the impersonal spiritual realization and monism. Negative cognition, meaning this is not real. Knowing that it is not real only comes to that platform of non-differentiation. But when the Samvit factor of cognition is enlightened by the Hladini potency of the same internal energy, they work together, and only thus can one attain the knowledge of the personality of Godhead. So Hladini and Samvit are working together. The Samvit Shakti should be maintained in that state. In other words, Samvit or knowledge must be in connection with divine reality, which is Sandhini. Otherwise, Samvit becomes perverted, and it's misunderstanding. The Samvit Shakti should be maintained in that state of pure consciousness. Material knowledge and indirect spiritual knowledge are byproducts of the Samvit Shakti. Any question?
No, you already answered.
Okay. Hladini Rashara Prema Prema Shara Bhava Bhavira Paramakasta Nama Mahabhava. The essence of the Hladini potency is love of God. The essence of love of God is emotion, or bhava. And the ultimate development of emotion is mahabhava. So the essence of the Hladini potency is love of God. So now we've discussed Sandhini, Samvit, and now Hladini. What is the essence of love of God? Hladini is love of God. The essence of love of God is emotion, bhava, and the ultimate developer of emotion is mahabhava. The product of the Hladini Shakti is love of God, which has two divisions, namely pure love of God and adulterated love of God. Only when the Hladini Shakti emanates from Sri Krishna and is bestowed upon the living being to attract him, does the living being become a pure lover of God. But when the same Hladini Shakti is adulterated by external material energy and emanates from the living being, it does not attract Krishna. On the contrary, the living being becomes attracted by the glamour of the material energy. At that time, instead of becoming mad with love of God, the living entity becomes mad after material sense enjoyment, and because of his association with the qualitative modes of material nature, he is captivated by its interactions of distressful, unhappy feelings. Very, very wonderful. So we know that the basis of illusion must be reality. It has to be. Reality must be the basis of everything. Nothing is independent from reality. But a misunderstanding of reality is called illusion. Otherwise, there's no such thing as illusion. Mahabhava. Okay, so let's just go over this a little bit. The essence of the Sandhini potency is pure goodness. And this Lord Krishna's existence, along with all of his abode and form and everything, that is the basis of that. And then the essence of the Samvit potency is knowledge that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna. That is the essence of the Samvit. What is knowledge? Knowledge means to know the truth. Knowledge here means to cram a bunch of information into here. It's all misunderstood. And the essence of the Hladini potency is? Very good. So, very good. So we're really learning these three different qualities of divine existence. Mahabhava Swarupa Sri Radha Thakurani Sarvaguna Kani Krishna Kanta Shiromani. Sri Radha Thakurani is the embodiment of Mahabhava. She is the repository of all good qualities, and the crest jewel among all the lovely consorts of Lord Sri Krishna. Purport: the unadulterated action of the Hladini Shakti is displayed in the dealings of the damsels of Braja and Srimati Radharani, who is the topmost participant in that transcendental group. The essence of the Hladini Shakti is love of Godhead. The essence of love of Godhead is bhava, or transcendental sentiment. And the highest pitch of that bhava is called mahabhava. Srimati Radharani is the personified embodiment of the three aspects of transcendental consciousness. She is therefore the highest principle in love of Godhead and is the supreme lovable object of Sri Krishna. Tayorapyo Bayor Madhe Radhika Sarvatadika Mahapava Swarupeyam Gunar Ati Varishyati. Of these two gopis, Radharani and Chandravani, Srimati Radharani is superior in all respects. She is the embodiment of Mahabhava, and she surpasses all in good qualities. This is a quotation from Srila Rupa Goswami's Ujjvala Nilamani. Krishna prema bhavita jara chitendriya kai. Krishna nija shakti radha kudara sahai. Her mind, senses, and body are steeped in love for Krishna. She is Krishna's own energy, and she helps him in his pastimes. Purport: Srimati Radharani is as fully spiritual as Krishna. No one should consider her to be material. She is definitely not like the conditioned souls, who have material bodies, gross and subtle, covered by material senses. She is all spiritual, and both her body and her mind are of the same spiritual embodiment. Because her body is spiritual, her senses are also spiritual. Thus her body, mind, and senses fully shine in love of Krishna. She is the personified Ladini Shakti, the pleasure-giving energy of the Lord's internal potency, and therefore she is the only source of enjoyment for Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna cannot enjoy anything that is internally different from him. In other words, must be of that divine nature. Therefore, Radha and Sri Krishna are identical. Krishna cannot enjoy anything that is internally different from him. Therefore, Radha and Sri Krishna are identical. The Sandhini portion of Krishna's internal potency has manifested the all-attractive form of Sri Krishna. Excuse me. And the same internal potency in the Hladini feature has presented Srimati Radharani, who is the attraction for the all-attractive. No one can match Srimati Radharani in the transcendental pastimes of Sri Krishna. Here's a quote from Upadesamrta. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pradibhavitabi Tabirya eva nija rupataya kalabi Goloka eva nivasatya kilatma bhuto Govindamari purusham tamaham bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who resides in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, who resembles his own spiritual figure, and who embodies the ecstatic potency, Hladini. Their companions are her confidants, who embody extensions of her bodily form, and who are imbued and permeated with ever blissful spiritual rasa. That is from the 5th chapter of Brahma-samhita, verse 37. Krishnere karaya jaiche rasa asvadana Kridara Sahaya Jaiche Churnavivarana. Now please listen to how Lord Krishna's consorts help him taste rasa, and how they help in his pastimes. So come explaining Sandhini, Samvit, and now Hladini, and now Srila Krishna Kaviraj wants to expand on Hladini Shakti, or Srimati Radharani, and her expansions. Krishna Kanta Ganadeki Trividha Prakara Akalakshmi Guna Pure Mahishi Ganahara Prajangana Rupa Akanta Ganashara Shri Radhika Haite Kanta Ganera Vistara. The beloved consorts of Lord Krishna are of three kinds: the goddesses of fortune, the queens, and the milkmaids of Praja, who are the foremost of all. These consorts all proceed from Radhika. So all of the consorts of the Lord, the queens of Dwarka and the goddesses of fortune in Vaikuntha, they are all expansions of Srimati Radharani. Avatari Krishna Chaitanya Kare Avatara Angshini Radha Haite Tina Ganera Vishtara. Just as the fountainhead Lord Krishna is the cause of all incarnations, so Sri Radha is the cause of all these consorts. Did you catch that? So just as all the expansions of the Lord, meaning, Krishna expanding himself in Mathura and in Dwarka and in Vaikuntha, they're all expansions of the Lord. They're the Lord. So all of these consorts in the different moods of Mathura, Dwarka and Vaikuntha, they are all expansions of Radharani. Vaibhava kanajena tara anga vibhuti bimba pratibimba rupa mahishira tati. The goddesses of fortune are partial manifestations of Srimati Radhika, and the queens are reflections of her image. Lakshmi Ganatara Vaibhava Vilasham Sharupa Mahishi Gana Vaibhava Prakasha Swarupa. The goddesses of fortune are her plenary portions, and they display the forms of Vaibhava Vilas. The queens are of the nature of her Vaibhava Prakash. The goddesses of fortune are her plenary portions, and they display the forms of Vaibhava Vilas, and the queens are of the nature of her Vaibhava Prakash. Akara Sabhava Bede Braja Devi Gana Kaya Vyuha Rupa Tarara Serakarana. The Braja Devis have their diverse bodily features. They are her expansions and are the instruments for expanding rasa. Pahukanta Bina Nahira Seravulasa Lila Rasahaya Lagi Bahuta Prakasha. Without many consorts, there is not such exaltation in rasa. Therefore, there are many manifestations of Srimati Radharani to assist in the Lord's pastimes. Tadamajje brajena bhava rasa bede Krishna ke karaya rasa dika lilasvare. Among them are various groups of consorts in Braja who have varieties of sentiments and mellows, all of them perfect. They help Lord Krishna taste all the sweetness of the rasa dance and other pastimes. Purport. As already explained, Krishna and Radha are one in two. They are identical. Krishna expands himself in multi-incarnations and plenary portions like the Purushas. The Purushas meaning Karanadakshay Vishnu, Garbhadakshay Vishnu, and Kshirodakshay Vishnu. Similarly, Srimati Radharani expands herself in multi-forms as the goddesses of fortune, the queens, and the damsels of Braja. Such expansions from Srimati Radharani are all her plenary portions. All these womanly forms of Krishna are all these womanly forms of Krishna are expansions corresponding to his plenary expansions of Vishnu forms. These expansions have been compared to reflected forms of the original form. There is no difference between the original form and the reflected forms. The female reflections of Krishna's pleasure potency are as good as Krishna himself. The plenary expansions of Krishna's personality are called Vaibhava Vilas and Vaibhava Prakash, and Radha's expansions are similarly described. The goddesses of fortune are her Vaibhava Vilas forms, and the queens are her Vaibhava Prakash forms. The personal associates of Radharani, the damsels of Braja, are direct expansions of her body, as expansions of her personal form and transcendental disposition. They are agents of different reciprocations of love in the pastimes of Lord Krishna under the supreme direction of Srimati Radharani. So, just as Krishna expands himself in so many forms in the rasa dance, but they are him himself. So Radharani is also expanding herself as the in different forms. Who are the Braja Gopis? In the transcendental realm, enjoyment is fully relished in variety. The exuberance of transcendental mellows is increased by the association of large numbers of personalities, similar to Radharani, who are also known as the Gopis or Sakis. The varieties of innumerable mistresses is a source of relish for Sri Krishna, and therefore these expansions from Srimati Radharani are necessary for enhancing the pleasure potency of Sri Krishna. Their transcendental exchanges of love are the super excellent affairs of the pastimes of Vrindavan. By these expansions of Srimati Radharani's personal body, she helps Lord Krishna taste the rasa dance and other similar activities. Srimati Radharani, being the central petal of the Rasa Lila flower, is also known by the names found in the following verses. Jai, so we can begin that tomorrow, reading those transcendental names of Srimati Radharani. Any questions? It's very, very fine and esoteric subject matter. So everything is an expansion of Krishna. And how this is all manifesting. These are things that are very far beyond our experience. And so we're just hearing them. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrta ki Jai, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj ki Jai, Srila Om Vishnupad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Shri Upadesamrta ki Jai. Hi there, Prabhu. Could you give me a minute? Sorry. I have to get some for here. Sorry about that. Shri Upadesamrta by Srila Rupa Goswami ki Jai, Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki Jai. Now coming to verse number 11. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right. Oh, I forgot I've got it. I forgot that I have a microphone up. Okay. Text verse number 11. Krishna Syo Chai Pranaya Vasati Prayasi Byopi Radha Kundam Chasya Munibir Abitas Tadrage Bhavyadai Yapesha Apyalam Asulabam Kim Punar Bhakti Bhajam Tap premedam sukridapi sharasnatura vishkaroti. Sri Radha is the highest object of Sri Krishna's love, above all of his other lovers, and in all respects, her lake has also been established as such by the sages. This lake bestows upon those who bathe within it only once prema that is extremely difficult even for those who are dear to Krishna to attain, let alone for practitioners of bhakti. Okay, so now we're going to go, and there are many commentaries here, but I'm going straight to Srila Guru Maharaj's commentary. There you go. Wow, so many things. So this Anuvriti by Srila Saraswati Thakur. Anyway, we're going to go back over Upadesamrta, I think, pretty consistently. I was thinking just to make the study just a little more manageable, just to read the commentaries by Srila Guru Maharaj. But of course we want to read everything, so probably we'll begin again. I think Upadesamrta is an extremely essential thing for us to study, memorize if possible, and always be referring to in our lives. Illumination. Mahaprabhu discovered Radha Kund in a paddy field. Prior to Mahaprabhu's appearance, Radha Kund was concealed, and when Mahaprabhu came to circumambulate Brajamandal, he intuitively went to the upper part of Govardhan and began to search for the site of Radha Kunda. He asked the local people, "Where is Radha Kunda?" And they could not give him any suggestions. So he meditated a little, and then he found some water in a paddy field. Paddy field means a rice field, where rice is growing. He took this water on his head and began to chant the stotram of Sri Radha Kund mentioned in the Padma Purana. In this way, the site of Radha Kund was located. Later on, Raghunath Das Goswami would sit under a tree beside this paddy field and continue chanting Harinam. He lived there without any concern. One day, Sanatana Goswami, as he was wandering through Vrindavan, arrived there and found Raghunath sitting under this tree, while a tiger came by him, drank some of the water in the paddy field, and then went away. So this was real jungle at that time. Raghunath was astounded to suddenly find Sanatan there in front of him, and he gave his pranam to Sanatan. Sanatana Goswami had been asked by Mahaprabhu, "Please look after my devotees in Vrindavan." Mahaprabhu had the highest faith in Srila Sanatana Goswami's organizing capacity, and so the responsibility of the general maintenance and care for the devotees was entrusted to Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana knew that Raghunath was very fond, too fond of self-abnegation, too fond in this context, when somebody in Bengal will say, "Oh, he is too," it means very, very much, not the way we use that word here, meaning excessively. He had shown this in Puri and in Vrindavan also. So Sanatana was excited and advised Raghunath, "Please don't sit under the sky here. It is my order that you should live in a cottage." Please accept this. I shall manage to have a cottage built for you. You must remain within it. I saw a tiger here just now. Oh, so I guess it does mean too much. What was Raghunath to do? Sanatan was, of course, the senior godbrother among all the followers of Mahaprabhu, and the responsibility of all the Brajamandal devotees had been entrusted to him. So Das Goswami could not but obey this order. Sanatana Goswami managed to construct a thatched cottage, and Das Goswami accepted it. Mahaprabhura Bhakta Ganera Vairagya Pradana Jadeki Prita Hana Gaura Bhagavan. Detachment is principal among the devotees of Mahaprabhu, and by seeing it, Gaura Bhagavan is pleased. With the help of a merchant, Das Goswami later had a tank dug, and in this way Radha Kund became visible. In his last day, tank means like a pond. In his last days, Das Goswami would take only 1 or 2 leaf pots of buttermilk each day and go on taking the name. When he was over 80, he would crawl on the banks of Radha Kund, calling out, Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. Half mad, he used to crawl on the banks of Radha Kund, chanting, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe. He would thus also rebuke himself. Atmanam che vijjaniyat parang jnana dutashaya kim icchan kasyava heto deham pushnati lampata. When one whose mind has been purified by knowledge can understand that the self is superior to the body, and because of what desire, and for what reason does such a debauchee nourish the body? So this is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. When one whose mind has been purified by knowledge can understand that the self is superior to the body, then because of what desire and for what reason does such a debauchee nourish the body? So in other words, Raghunath Das Goswami is saying, here I am maintaining the body, and so I'm a debauchee, I'm unfaithful. He's saying, why am I doing this? After taking a pot of buttermilk, he would address his own mind. If you think that you're not the body, and really you're a soul, then why is your body getting fatter day by day? What is the matter? And in this way he used to rebuke himself, although it was not so. So this is a transcendental emotion. His temperament to rebuke the fleshy aspect was to teach us, don't enjoy yourself with the idea that you have attained a fair position. This is dainyam, humility. Fair here means beautiful. That you have attained a very sweet and high position. He's saying, don't enjoy yourself. Just thinking, oh, I'm in a very good position. So this is called dainya. This is a natural feeling we hear of the devotee. He's thinking, oh no, I haven't attained anything. Puri Shera Kita Haike Muni Se Lagista. I am lower than a worm in stool. To make advancement toward the infinite means to see oneself to be so meager. This is the criterion. As much as the devotee is really advancing, they cannot but think that they are going down, that they are the lowest of the low. This is the truth, and thereby we are to measure who is a devotee and who is not. The criterion means humility, sincere humility. So Das Goswami would challenge himself. What sort of devotee do you think you have become? You are so mean. Mean means low. You cannot shake off all these things. Das Goswami would cry, crawling along the banks of the Radha Kunda, taking the name of Radharani and sometimes looking towards Nandagram with tears in his eyes. He could not express himself clearly in words and would make a big ha sound as tears fell. In this way he passed his days in the highest place of service, Sri Radha Kunda. Up to his last days he stayed there in this highest, sweetest connection of the Kunda Lila of Radha Govinda. He is our example of how Radha Kunda is to be honored as prescribed in the Upadesamrta. Mahaprabhu in his last days would suddenly chant something, and on another day he would suddenly chant something else. And all these points were collected and put into the Sanskrit verses by Rupa Goswami. That is Upadesamrta. The 11 verses in this Upadesamrta are very important and very, very useful for practical and personal realization. Generally, others in Vrindavan try to discuss and understand Krishna Lila, but the focus of our Guru Maharaj was always toward the foundation. The consequence will come automatically. So you need not be so careful about that, about the high things. We are concerned that we are on a firm basis. And if we are able to establish ourselves properly in those fundamental basis of devotional practice, especially as given here in Upadesamrita, then the results of that will come automatically. We don't have to try to manage that part. The consequence will come automatically, so you need not be so careful about that. You should always focus on the foundation. Any question about that? Shravana kirtana jale karaye sechana upajiya badelata. From Chaitanya, Charitamrta, Lila 19. Nourish the creeper of devotion by watering it with hearing and chanting. It will grow automatically. You need not be very eager to examine whether it is growing or not growing. It will grow. So keep confidence in Guru and Shastra. And as it grows, you will know it clearly. It is not an abstract thing. It is a reality, a concrete reality. It will inform you sufficiently that it has come to you. So do your duty. Do the duty of your service, and the result will come automatically. Mind your own lesson. Don't allow the conceit that you are a student of the higher class to come within your heart. You need not be very much alert to that. Just try to do your humble duty and see that it is done without any defects. This is a very, very important lesson from Guru Maharaj. We're not anxious to see that we are this or we are that. In fact, if we are concentrating on the process of surrender, that thought can hardly come in the mind. It is so difficult. It's so difficult to meet the mind and the ego face to face. So we will be very busy with that. And then when we notice that we are not busy with that, that's another wake-up call. So we maybe have some experience in trying to help others, but we are mainly concerned with our, and of course that is true, and we have that duty to do. Anyone who's been in the temple for any amount of time can help someone else who is newer. And this is part of our devotional offering. However, we're concerned about our own, I'm not saying this like we're, selfish, but we must be concerned with our actual foundational progress and position. That is an extremely important thing. Sometimes somebody will say, senior devotee or this or that. And sometimes that has to be even spoken about, because the very, very junior persons, they really do need, to listen to someone who's been in the temple a little bit longer and who can really give them very good advice. So in that sense, that thing has been recognized. But in terms of our own internal process, we don't think anything like that. Because sometimes there's some job to do, and one has to have some kind of feeling about doing that job. But that is not the internal feeling of any devotee. He's too busy. He's too busy dealing with the ego, with the weaknesses of his own nature, and trying to develop an actual, completely honest and humble mood of surrender. And that is not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. So if we're trying to practice that, we can never get so much feeling of that. We're trying. And even that feeling may come, but then we know, oh my Lord, look at this nonsense. So mind your own lesson. Don't allow the conceit that you are a student of the higher class to come within your heart. You need not be very much alert to that. Just try to do your humble duty and see that it is done without any defect. I think that one of the reasons that being a temple manager is so difficult is because you do have to assert things. And you have to do that in a mood of surrender. And in a mood of surrender, meaning, how shall I do this? What shall I do? How shall I help this person? And that is a really hard job. So we have to really try to do every service in the mood of surrender. Shall I do this? Is this what you would like? What shall I do now? And listen attentively and try to understand from your heart what it is that you're to do. And then it may be wrong, it may be imperfect, but you will be corrected. We will be corrected. But this surrender is the life of our practice. It's when it comes into a very different kind of, there's life in there, bhakti prana. So we have to do that. We must do it. It's not optional. We have to serve in the mood of surrender. And in some services it's a little harder. The ego will come out, and so many different kinds of things will come out. It may be in an attempt to do that seva, truly, but we will be saved from that through surrender. So we're really, really always minding our own business, as Guru Maharaj says. Mind your own lesson. And then you will be saved from so many external feelings of superiority to others, because that abhiman has to come out sometimes. Because you have to assert yourself. But you're asserting in the mood of surrender. But that has to be done. Anyone who's in charge of anything has to assert something. So we have to keep ourselves always in always in the mood of submission to the higher, not to the lower. We're not being submissive to the lower. We're being submissive to the higher. Otherwise, how can we help anyone come to a higher position? So these are all very fine points of our devotional service and our devotional practice. And this can be taken to any environment. But again, this is our lesson, and it's really, really very intense. It will take up our time. Concentrate the whole of your energy only on doing your duty where you are. The result is in His hands. That is the essence of surrender. I am trying to make an offering, and the result is up to you. And when the result does not come to you, it will inform you. And when the result does come to you, it will inform you that you have passed the examination. Your duty is to engage yourself in study and not in curiosity as to whether you have passed the examination. We are engaged in study and practice and not looking, oh, how am I doing? How am I doing? This is the nature of material existence. How am I doing in compared to others and in the eyes of others? It's a very severe addiction. The result will come of its own accord to you, so go on with your duty. Be a good student, not a result monger. That should be the ideal of life. Putting all our attention toward the immediate duty is the real key to success. Isn't that amazing? Really, I do think we should print this. So many things we want to print and laminate and put all over the walls. Yeah. What was that? Tell me again.
What was the last book?
Oh, and I am the immortal nectar, that one. Those final conclusive words of Krishna in all these chapters of Gita. It's saying this, yes, this, but I am this. So it's not like, we have the whole gamut of the whole ladder, you could say, of yoga. Yoga is the essence. Be a yogi. This is what humans do. Be a yogi. A real yogi. Make progress. But this is the real essence of progress. Every time Krishna is reminding, oh yes, there's this thing and that thing. You sit on the kusha grass and concentrate your, and some, But for what? You can come directly to me. I'm right here. I'm the indwelling witness of, this is so wonderful. So wonderful. But that particular one, very sweet. We should start a little book, and start, some of these, anyway, so many things to do. But all of these really essential, like gems. There are many very lovely books of gems in our mission. Hare Krishna. So that should be the ideal of life, putting all our attention toward the immediate duty is the real key to success in the mood of surrender. And I'm saying this because Guru Maharaj is saying it constantly. What is service? Is it just moving our body and doing and accomplishing certain things? Of course, that is service. We want to be serving. And especially, really, it's a very great benediction to live in the temple. Because every single thing you do here is giving so much benefit to so many Hoyachin Hoybin Prabhu, who will come, who will have come, who are coming. All are benefited from the temple, from being in the temple. Where these, but what is the temple? It is the jewel box of Siddhanta, Siddhantic jewels. And all the services done in that, relation to that. So we're watching that, we are making sure that's not becoming adulterated, and we are making a very beautiful place where people can come and, hear these things, receive affection from the devotees, see the beautiful environment, bow down to the Lord who has come in such a beautiful forms of Sri Giriraj. Sri Giriraj is so affectionate. And Mahaprabhu, my goodness. And coming in even unknowingly, but just from good quality, bowing down, because the devotees are bowing down. And some reciprocation coming and development coming. So many things are here. So everything we do when we're in the temple is serving that. And it's a very nice life, very valuable life. And of course, in the Grihastha ashram also, raising our children with such a beautiful, divine prospect in life. I've gone into Grihastha's houses where I felt definitely that I was in a temple and immediately bowed down. It's just a feeling. It's the atmosphere of service, progress. Oh, there you go. Oh, here's one of my, so this is, I know we're going over time a little. Sakyayame namostu, namostu nityam. What Guru Maharaj pronounced it, Sakyayame namastu. Nityam dasyayame rashastu satyam. May I offer obeisance, forever unto friendship with you. And may I relish service to you. Rashastu. Dasyayame rasa. Relish. May I relish you satyam forever, always, the feeling of servitude. And I am worshiping the feeling of friendship. So we are worshiping these higher things. And forever I want to feel your service. And then as your servant. And then if from above there is some necessity in that service to go to a higher relationship, and that will be executed by them. We're not dreaming about these things. That is one thing in Sri Chaitanya Saraswat. There's no dreaming about, what will it be like when I'm this or when I'm that? Never. We have no idea. That is impossible to dream of. We don't know. We have no experience about these higher things, but we can relish them through worship, through loving worship. Oh, such a wonderful thing that is. Such a wonderful thing. No exploitation. Friendship in this world is exploitation. I want to experience a certain thing, and you're the best way that I can do that. Right? But when that is mixed with devotional affection, then many things can be there. Anyway, this is beautiful. Shri Upadesamrta ki Jaya, Shri Rupa Goswami ki Jaya, Jaya Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki Jaya, Jaya Shri Vishnupada, Bhakti Rakha Sri Gurudev Goswami Maharaj ki Jaya, and always, simultaneously one and different, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jaya. Thank you. Haribol.
There's a wonderful
He was one of the transcendentalist poets who had come into contact with Indian theology. His name was Thoreau. And he wrote, "Every day I bathe my mind in the cosmological wonder of the Bhagavad Gita." And I like that expression. I think that book was on Walden Pond or something. He lived in that area of Boston, but this, I sometimes when we're reading in the morning, oh, we're bathing our mind in these beautiful divine sounds. And to get up and start the day without a bath.
You know, that's something that the temple has helped me to change. Now it's a habit to take a bath as soon as I wake up. Because before temple life, I will take showers after from time to time.
And bathing, now you're also decorated. First bathing and then decorating. Decorating our bodies with tilak. When I first saw a devotee with tilak, very first time, I saw a devotee on the streets in Toronto. I had seen them in Washington in 1969, but it was very short. I saw them and then everything was dispersed. But then when I saw them one night, I was in Toronto, and I saw the tilak, and I thought, these people are attached to something. Because I wanted full detachment at the time. I just wanted out. I wasn't personalist. When I saw the tilak, I thought, oh, they have some attachment. But then when I went to the temple, I thought, oh, it was just a wonderful thing. The temples are important. It's important. Maintenance of the temple is a very important service. Hari Om. Hari Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Oh wait, excuse me, Jaya. Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Sorry to interrupt. I do that. I have that really wrong on the floor.
That's true.
Living back for 5 minutes.
Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Singh Madhusudana. Dari Gopina Madana Mukana. Chaitanya Chanda Sri Aditya Chandra. Radhadhara Sri Vasari Gauranga Sanatana Vatara Gunada. Vijiva Gopala Vatara Sada Gunada. Jai Gosai Gori Charana Bandana. Jaha hoite Viganash Avista Purana.
Namacharya Srila Thakur ki jai. Sadguru Swami Prabhu ki jai. Prabhu ki jai. Sapashad Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat ki jai. Gadisakama ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission ki jai. Gol Kartal ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Samaveda Vaishnava Mandala ki jai. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Nitai Gaur
Haribo. Jai Srimati Shri Lekha Devi ki jai.
Oh, how lucky we are. This is sitting in a Tulsi forest.
Yes.
So, Prabhuji, are you all fine now?
No. We're showing a scene of the Tulasi. Of Tulasi.
Oh.
And the streets of Solik. How everybody's getting darshan of Mahaprabhu.
Oh, yeah. It's true. You can see Mahaprabhu when you go by the front window.
Or he can see them, that's more important.
Yes. There's people that don't know
Yeah.
do parikrama.
Well, that's, the interesting thing about Salt Lake City
is that there's a highway that goes in a circle around the whole city. So people who are circumambulating that highway, or people who are walking around the block, like they're circumambulating Mahaprabhu and Tulsi Devi. Hare Krishna, Dandavat.